Hey, what's up everybody? Philip Enriquez here for the Say What You Like Sports Podcast. Week 2 has came and went for the 2017 NFL season, so that can only mean one thing here on Say What You Like. Time for the Week 3 NFL Power Rankings. Now what have we figured out so far in this young NFL season? Well, we figured out that LA doesn't like watching losing football. We figured out that the Dallas running game can be stopped. And we also figured out you never, ever want to play Tom Brady coming off of a loss. Now, to the power rankings. At number 10, I had just a bit of a conundrum on who to place here at number 10 because Tampa Bay looked really, really good in their first game, and I expect them to be a playoff contender. The offense and the defense didn't look bad at all this week, but they weren't able to play in week 1 due to Hurricane Irma. So that puts them a bit behind the 8 ball. So in the end, I had to go with Old Faithful in the NFL. At number 10, the Seattle Seahawks. Now Russell Wilson didn't have his best game, but he came through in the end like Russell Wilson usually does. He finished the game 23 for 39, 198 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now for the bad news, that 1 touchdown was the first touchdown scored in 14 quarters. This is bad O-line play and a lack of playmakers on that offense. Like I said last week, Seattle definitely wants to address their offensive issues before they get into the playoffs this season. But what's most concerning is this team is no longer that dominant team at home because the San Francisco 49ers and Carlos Hyde ran amok in the running game. Carlos Hyde had 124 yards with a 8.3 yards per carry on Seattle's home turf. So that's cause for concern if you're Seattle, because the one thing that they've always had in the bag these last few seasons is they play well at home. Okay, this next one's gonna hurt. At number 9, the Dallas Cowboys. Now the Cowboys fall out of the top 5 due to the loss to the Denver Broncos. Now I'm not entirely shocked that the Cowboys lost to Denver because Denver is a great defense and they play well at home. But what I did not expect to see was the way that Denver dominated the Dallas Cowboys when defending against their running game. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line was unable to create any holes for Ezekiel Elliott, and the running game was damn near non-existent. I never thought I would see that type of a game for the Dallas Cowboys. Luckily, they have the Arizona Cardinals up next on Monday Night Football, and hopefully they can turn around not just the fortunes for the running game, but for the entire team after such a terrible, terrible loss. At number 8, you have the Green Bay Packers. And so the Packers got blown out for the second time in a row to the Falcons. And on top of that, they sustained injuries to players like Mike Daniels on that defense and Jordy Nelson on the offense. Now you add that up with their already 2 injured starting tackles, and you're going to think there's plenty of cause to panic. But in my estimation, there's no reason to panic quite yet because the Green Bay quarterback is still some guy. I think he goes by the name of Aaron Rodgers. They're going to be just fine. Fresh off the Monday night victory, 24-10 over the New York Giants. At number 7, the Detroit Lions. Now the Lions made the Giants look bad for the second week in a row on that offense, and you can't use there was no Odell Beckham Jr. on the field this week for an excuse. Now, Ansah, as a defensive end, I mean, he's just embarrassed Eric Flowers tonight, and Matt Stafford continues to look really, really good as a quarterback. He's earning his money, every penny, and guess what? The Lions are 2-0 and sitting on top of the NFC North right now. Shooting way up the rankings this week, at number 6, the Denver Broncos. Now last week, I made the big mistake of keeping these Broncos off of the top 10 in my power rankings and keeping them just behind the Detroit Lions. And I'm not making that mistake this week because Denver beat Dallas at its own game by running the ball and setting up the play action for Trevor Siemian, who went 22 of 32 for 231 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, who's missing Peyton Manning now? And before I forget, that defense, it's pretty good too. Cracking the top 5 this week in the NFL Power Rankings, the Oakland Raiders. So all should be well in Raider Nation this week because Derek Carr is now completely healthy and Marshawn Lynch is now completely hyphy. And they're just going to continue to roll behind this dominating offensive line. Derek Carr finished Sunday's game completing 82% of his passes. 82%. So now it's time for them to take their show on the road and face the Washington Redskins this weekend and keep this thing going strong. Keeping steady in the top 5 for these NFL Power Rankings, we have at number 4, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now this team might not be playing up to its full potential yet, but the team still has plenty of time to find its groove. I mean, this defense is going to face Mike Glennon, Joe Flacco, and Blake Bortles in its next 3 games. Those are the 3 quarterbacks that defense is facing. Plenty of time to knock the rust off, in my opinion. Now, I don't expect the Steelers team to be tested until week 6 because they have to travel to a place called Arrowhead Stadium and face off with the suddenly red-hot Alex Smith and the Chiefs. Making it all the way up to the top 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. And it is time to give the Kansas City Chiefs their due respect. I mean, they're 12-2 in their last 14 regular season games. And that includes 2 victories over the often hyped up Oakland Raiders. And also that includes a blowout victory over the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots that started off this season. Look, Andy Reid might not be a marquee name, and Alex Smith may not be the sexiest of quarterbacks, but this team finds a way to consistently get the job done under Reid and Alex Smith, and this just might be the year because rookie Kareem Hunt has seemingly put this team over the top. Coming in at number 2, the New England Patriots. Take your hands off that panic button, Pats fans. There is nothing, absolutely nothing to worry about here. Yeah, the critics were chirping loud after week 1. You know, Tom Brady, he's supposed to fall off some cliff in the next year or so. But what did he do this weekend? I don't know. Throw for 447 yards, complete 77% of his passes, and just chipped in 3 touchdown passes. Now, Gronk got involved early, and I thought that's what New England should have done in week 1, and it helped to bring them a win because Gronk had 6 receptions for 116 yards and a TD. So what's up next? Just a playoff rematch with the Houston Texans, which is a team that gave Brady some fits last season. So we'll see how he returns against a top-notch defense. This will be Brady's biggest test of the season as far as defenses go. Once again, holding steady to the number 1 spot on the Say What You Like NFL Power Rankings, the Atlanta Falcons. So the number 1 team, Atlanta Falcons, picked up basically right where they left off. Here on the rankings at number 1, and by just straight abusing the Green Bay Packers. It was a 34-23 win over Green Bay, but the game wasn't even really that close because they were up 31-7 in the 3rd quarter. Now on a negative note, the Falcons did lose key pass rusher Vic Beasley to a hamstring tear, so a bit of a reason for concern there. But on a positive note, Atlanta showed it can actually hold on to a lead and win. Alright, so that should just about wrap it up here for the Week 3 Say What You Like NFL Power Rankings. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for taking the time out of your day, for listening in here, and going through the top 10 power rankings with me. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out these power rankings on YouTube, I'd really appreciate it if you could take the time out of your day and go over to YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to grow that channel out. But of course, you're always free to listen on SoundCloud. You're free to listen on Anchor, which gets distributed through Google Play and Apple Music, so you can find the power rankings being uploaded weekly there as well. But until next time, week 4, this is Philip Enriquez for the Say What You Like Sports Podcast. Peace.